Hi everyone, welcome back to Conversations with Azu, the Vitality More podcast. I am your host, and today I wanted to talk about something that touches every single one of us, in particular women, whether we admit it or not. Why are we so afraid of aging? And even more importantly, who taught us to be afraid of it? Episode 24 is Why Are We Being Discouraged from Aging Gracefully? Aging is the most natural process we will ever experience in our lives. It's inevitable, it's continuous, and you know what? It's actually a privilege. And yet, we live in a world that constantly tells us to hide it, slow it down, or reverse it completely. So today, let's have an honest, open conversation about why we're being discouraged from aging gracefully and how we can start reclaiming a healthier, more empowering relationship with time and with ourselves. Let me ask you something. When did aging become something we needed to fix? If you look back through history, aging was never seen as a flaw. Elders were respected. They were seen as wise, experienced, grounded. Their presence carried weight. Age did not reduce their value, it actually increased it. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. Now, aging is often associated with decline, with loss, with becoming invisible, especially for women. And I really want you to sit with that because the moment something is framed as a problem, it becomes something that can be sold back to you as a solution, right? So let's talk about the industry behind this. Let's talk about the business of staying young. We live in a world where there is a massive multi-billion-dollar industry built around anti-aging. Anti-aging skincare, anti-aging treatments, procedures, supplements, quick fixes, and the message is subtle but constant. Wrinkles, fix them. Grey hair, cover it. Lines, texture, changes, reverse them. But what if these things were never problems to begin with? What if they are simply signs that you have lived, that you have experienced, felt, grown, you have knowledge, wisdom? Because here's the truth. This industry doesn't just sell products, it sells insecurity. Let's be real. It makes you feel like who you are naturally becoming is somehow not enough. So think about what that does to us mentally, emotionally, the psychological impact on us being discouraged to age gracefully is just huge. When we constantly hear that your youth equals beauty, youth equals relevance, youth equals worth, well, we begin to internalize that message. We start to fear change. We start to resist the natural process of aging. We compare ourselves to filtered images, unrealistic standards, and often versions of ourselves from the past. And I see this all the time, especially on social media. And suddenly we're chasing something that we can never actually keep because time will always move forward, my friends. So the real issue isn't aging. The real issue is the meaning we have attached to it. Aging is a blessing. Now, I want to shift this perspective. Let's look at aging differently. Ask yourself, who have you become over the years? What have you learned? What have you overcome? What do you understand now that you didn't before? Because aging is not just physical, it's emotional growth, it's resilience, it's self-awareness, it's depth. As you get older, you care less about what others think. You become clearer on who you are. You become more grounded in your values. And you know what? That is power. Youth is about discovery, but aging is about mastery. So let's reclaim graceful aging. How do we step out of this pressure? How do we begin to embrace aging rather than fight it? First, we redefine beauty. Beauty is not just smooth skin. It's energy, it's presence, it's confidence, it's how you carry yourself. Secondly, we start to change our language. Instead of anti-aging, what if we said pro-aging or staying young or youthful. Instead of fixing, we focus on nurturing, caring for ourselves, not to look younger, but to feel alive. Thirdly, we become intentional about what we consume, the conversations we listen to, the content we follow, the people we surround ourselves with. Are they reinforcing fear or are they encouraging growth? And finally, we take care of our bodies and our minds from a place of respect, not resistance. Movement, rest, nutrition, connection, not to reverse time, but to support life. Now, I want to share something honestly and personally. There have been moments where I have looked in the mirror and noticed changes and questioned them. And there have also been moments where I felt more confident, more comfortable, and more myself than I ever did in my younger years. And that's something we don't talk about enough. Aging can actually free you from comparison, from insecurity, from needing constant validation. You begin to step into yourself more fully. So maybe the question isn't how do we stop aging? Maybe the question is how do we honor it? Because not everyone gets the chance to grow older. Not everyone has the privilege to age. And if you are aging, it means you are still here. You're still learning, you're still evolving, you're still becoming. And that is something worth celebrating. I encourage you to change the narrative. I encourage you to stand strong and just be proud of who you are. It doesn't matter if there's a few grey hairs or a few lines on your face, because that is all about life. And it tells a story about the challenges, a story about your growth, a story about your expansion and your journey of life. And, be proud of it and really, really accept that this is just a part of life and it's not something that is flooring us and something that needs to be reversed or changed. And stop listening to Hollywood BS that keeps telling you need to look so polished and so perfect, that we all need to have a facelift or Botox or fillers or injections. What's wrong with having good nutrition? What's wrong with looking after yourself through natural remedies and homeopathy and natural medicines? What's wrong with using organic skincare instead of the conventional ones that are filled with chemicals, and they're actually probably aging you more than giving you a youthful complexion? So I really want you to just change that narrative and come into your heart and celebrate that you are aging. Thank you so much for joining me in today's conversation. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear the message. And remember, you are not losing your youth. You are gaining your life. Until next time, stay vibrant, stay grounded, and stay you. Namaste.